Hello and welcome to all my business owner friends out there. I wanted to share this quote with you from Peter Drucker. Peter Drucker, if you don't know who he is a consultant that was a big part of the turnaround in Japan after the Second World War, and very well spoken of, very, I want to say famous, but I don't really like that term in terms of consultants or people like that. Uh, People have written books and documents, etc., related to business. But very, just needless to say, you can Google him and look him up. He said, culture eats strategy for lunch all day. So, what does he mean by that? I'm sure many of you have heard the term culture. Some of you may have even thought about how do you put culture into your business, um, and varying degrees of success or failure around that. So, what I wanted to share with you, so with my 21 plus years experience working with business owners to help them scale up without burning out, uh, the what Peter Drucker calls is culture. And then I want to just state this because I think this is really important because here's the thing, if you have an awesome culture and you have a mediocre strategy, you'll succeed at a high level. Just imagine if you have an awesome culture and you have an awesome strategy as well. So, what is culture? Well, first off, it's a vision. Where do you want to go with this business? Why is that important? First of all, it gives a sense of purpose and a sense of why this is important. And it's not just for you as the business owner, it's for the people who work for you, the people you serve, and the community that you serve in. And I can say this with a lot of experiences that I'm going to use the term A team players in terms of employees, those coveted A members of our team. They want to work for a company that has a vision for the future, that they go, you know what, if I help this person reach this vision, then I'm going to get what I want out of my work experience. So very, very important to have a strong vision that it motivates people. If you think it from the perspective of people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, but people also won't remember what you said or did, but they will remember how you made them feel. So think about, how does your vision make, number one, you feel? If you don't feel anything from it, nobody else is going to feel anything from it. But if you feel something for it, then start to share it, start to flesh it out with people, and get to the point where the key members on your team, the key people around you going, I really like that. I think that's something that I can get behind. The other part of that is the mission. And now I know a lot of consultants and coaches, they either use vision or mission. They don't use them two together. I use them together. Here's why I use them together. I look at it as being, as a vision is where do we want to go? And the mission is how we're going to get there. So, we're going to have a robust hiring system and hire only the best people with great attitudes and the right skill for the right job. We're going to onboard them. We're going to train them. We're going to have cultural events. We're going to have learning opportunities for everybody. So we're going to get the best tools. We're going to get the best equipment, whatever that might be. That's the mission. So the vision is where we're going, and the mission is how we're going to get there. So the next part of that is your core values. And your core values are, think of what you value. So do you value integrity? Do you value hard work? Do you value being focused? Do you value learning? Do you value being vulnerable? Do you value being courageous? Do you value being learning? Do you value working together as a team? These are core values that people get behind. Now, I always put it this way: is like, think of it this way. Your business is your sandbox, and you're inviting people to come into play in your sandbox. Now, do you want them to play by your values or do you want them to play by their values? Because if they're playing by their values, you might get lucky and get somebody who shares your values, but you might get somebody who doesn't share your values, and that causes grief inside your sandbox. So the next thing is that creates a great culture is leadership. And to me, leadership is about helping people grow. If you think about it from the perspective of, military style leadership is we have to uh, win this war or battle or whatever you want to call it, but we also don't want people to die, any of our people to die. Now, I would hate using that analogy because I'm really not in favor of wars and killing other people or anything like that. But it isn't important because when you're in the leadership in a battle, you need to be like autocratic, dictatorial kind of we have to go and we have to go now type thing. But in leadership in business is completely different because what you want to do is, first of all, and I like what John Maxwell said, I'm not looking for more followers, I'm looking for leaders. And leadership can be shown at any level. That the person that comes in and cleans the office or the person who cleans their files or whatever can show leadership. So I want people that step up and become leaders. The other part is communication. Uh, Open, honest, integrity, communication, candor. I'm trying to think of the name of the guy that he talks about candor in his business, and that's just it. Be an open book to people. I find that business owners are way too afraid to share information with their team because they're always afraid, I don't know, that they're going to ask for a raise or they're going to, whatever. I don't even know why. Here's the thing. If I'm an employee of yours and I'm getting paid at the top of the scale and I'm appreciated for the work that I do and I'm able uh, to, to contribute, to be part of this amazing system, then and I help you succeed at this, then I'm going to be happy. I don't care how much money you make, as long as I'm making lots of money and I'm having fun and I'm appreciated for the work I'm doing. So communication, be really open with the communication and also communication in the direction of the company that you're going in, communication that's going to affect those employees who come to work for you. So hiring is a big part of creating a great culture. Too many times, this is probably in the small business sector, the biggest flagrant mistake that they make continuously. And that is just, oh, my friend's dad's uncle's brother's sister's friend is out of work. Yeah. And he can do the work or he's a whatever. Yeah, I'll hire him. Sorry, not smart at all. Not smart at all. Have a robust hiring system. Take your time, hire slow, fire fast. Uh, Make sure they have a cultural fit. Ask them questions that are going to uncover their attitude because people with a great attitude are, first of all, they can be taught just about anything and they become a big part of the team. People with a bad attitude, even if they're really, really smart and they can, get results, they're going to become a cancer in your business. And ultimately, it might seem like, oh man, this person is doing all this and or bringing in all this work, whatever. Might seem like a good thing, but he is, causing all kinds of disruption with the rest of the team. In the end, it's going to cost you. So make sure that you hire for attitude as well as aptitude. Onboarding, I talked a little bit about that. Make a big deal about onboarding people, and then provide them with training because people, how do I say this? When people are growing, when people are learning, they become because it's one of the six human needs is to grow. And so if you're fulfilling that need in people and they grow, then they're going to be a better team player. They're going to be a better employee. They're going to be a better part of the team. So I talked a little bit about this already. Make sure you appreciate your people. I remember working for somebody and they never wanted to say to the employee that they were doing a good job because they were afraid they were going to ask for more money if they uh, said they were doing a good job. And here's the thing I would say about that. First of all, if they're not doing a good job and you've given them every opportunity to do a good job, but they don't do a good job, then you need to replace them. If they're doing a good job, appreciate them, pay them at the top of the scale because it will come back to you in your business's profitability because good employees are more productive, more efficient, and they get things done. So make sure that you appreciate them. And then the last I already talked about that is make sure you compensate. Well, pardon me, it's not the last thing. There's one more. Uh, Make sure there's fair compensation for people. That just goes without saying. If you're, always trying to, you know, pay somebody that's worth $40 an hour or $30 an hour or $10,000 a month, and they're worth $10,000 a month and you're trying to get them for $8,000 a month, they may come on board in the short term, but they're not going to stick around for long. And people that are, as I said, are really good at their jobs and they know it and they have a vision and goals for their own life and they know that they could make more money someplace else and they don't feel appreciated and they're not growing and there's no training and there's the communication is crap and the leadership is crap and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You see what the problem is here. So make sure that you're fairly compensating people because if there's a piece of that puzzle that's out and they're not being compensated fairly, they're going to be gone in the blink of an eye. And then the last is profit. And that really just comes from, as Peter Drucker said, having a great culture. And as I said earlier, a great culture with mediocre strategy is going to be still going to provide great results. But if you have a great culture and a great strategy and you do all of this stuff, it's pretty hard to fail in business, unless, of course, you are terrible at your pricing and that's not their fault, that's your fault. Anyways, I hope you got some value out of this. If you did, comment, like the video, share the video, um, subscribe to this channel. Apparently, that's the thing you do when you're posting YouTube things is get people to subscribe. I'm always going to be providing content that is around growing your business, and it's really about scaling up your business and doing it without burning out. And I know because I've been doing this for 21 years, uh, far too many business owners burn out. And that's because, when you're 25 years old, you're an electrician and you start an electrical contracting business and you're working 7 days a week and uh, you think you can do that forever. You can't do that forever. So I help businesses, as I said, scale up without burning out, and I help them do it profitably. So if you want, you can go to lauriemcnaughton.com or scaleupbizcoach.com and scroll down the page a little bit. There's a link in there. You can book a discovery meeting. We'll have a conversation about where you're at, where you want to be, what are the obstacles and challenges that you see that are getting in the way of you getting to where you want to get to. I'll talk about some of the solutions. But first, we'll decide is this something that we feel like we can work on together? Is there some synergy between you and I? And if there is, then we'll book a longer session and we'll a complimentary coaching session, and we'll dig in even deeper. And then at the end of that complimentary coaching session, if we both agree that there's value in it for both of us, because this is a win-win. It's not, I'm not going to do this so that you can win and I lose, and I'm certainly not going to do it so I can win and you lose. But if we believe that it's a win-win for both of us, and you believe that I can help you get you to where you want to be with a lot less stress and a lot more fun, then we'll look at a program that'll work for you. Thanks for listening. And as I said, subscribe, like, share, all that stuff. Talk to you soon. Bye.